Hey, everybody, it's Karen Anderson here with Aortic. Hope for our week in review that I forgot to turn down my volume on my phone. See, told you I wasn't 100% ready, but I'm officially ready now. So great to see all of you. Listen, do me a favor before we get started. Anything, my explanation of what this day's about, anything. Do me a favor, please click that like button. It means so much to me. Click this share button when we're done. Share it everywhere. More importantly, click that subscribe button. Click the little bell. The little alarm bell serves a purpose. It lets you know every time we go live. And we go live for a week in review, which is on Mondays. And what that means is we go over all of the posts that we put up on Facebook and on Instagram and on our website and give you, the community members, an opportunity to chat your opinion, chat your thoughts, ask a question, whatever the case may be with me. And we try to do some giveaways as well. So we need to get like at least 5 people to chat with us today. And if we do, I'm going to give away one of our newest items here. And these are our card decals. And they are awesome. I actually just put one on my card this morning. Very easy. They're more like window clings from the outside. So you're not going to need a razor blade to scrape it off or anything like that if you sell your car. But you will receive one of these. Somebody will receive one. We also go live when we have very brave individuals who want to share their Survivor series. And that's really important because that gives you a chance to ask them questions about their story and their experience. And we also go live when we do our live Q&As. So we've recently had Dr. Ben Udelman. We will be interviewing Tara Cohen, Executive Vice President of Lawrence Hope. She's coming up in March. We actually have Dr. Diana Milowitz, a geneticist with UT Houston and the John Ritter Research Program. She's coming up as well, like this week. So we've got a lot of things going on, and you're going to miss them if you have a memory problem and can't remember and you don't write it down. So if you click the bell, you're going to get notified, and it's going to show up as a notification that Aortic Hope is live and doing something really special. So that's why I'm asking you to do that.
I forgot to ask you to scooch. Scooch. There you go. A little bit more. Thank you. You're good. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, all right, everybody, let's get started. Let's talk about what our Monday post was. Now, Monday post last week, this is in the past, so you missed out. But Monday post was one of those exciting things that just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And it was an opportunity where Aortic Hope teamed up with Lawrence Hope Medical ID Jewelry. And that was kind of in preparation. It was like a teaser to what is going to be happening in March. And there's going to be another contest event for you to participate. So if you missed out, you have another chance. And basically what we did is we teamed up for a giveaway. Between the two organizations, we were raising awareness for Heart Month. And there was a lot of rules that we had in place. You had to like and follow, and you can still do this, still do it, because you know why? We're going to do it again. I'm not going to tell you when, but you need to like both organizations. You got to like Aortic Hope and follow us on Instagram, as well as Lawrence Hope ID. That is how they're listed on Instagram. You need to do all of that, and then you'll have an opportunity to possibly win a gift certificate. So we actually gave away a $100 gift certificate from Lawrence Hope and a $50 gift certificate from Aortic Hope. So from our Hope Shop to one lucky person who had to do a lot of other things other than just like, we asked people to share it. We asked people to tag a friend, because really, look, let's be real. There's a lot of medical conditions out there. It's not just aortic disease or people that have their aortic valves replaced, or there's a lot of things out there. And so Lawrence Hope really offers an incredible product line to really cater to everybody's needs and really spreading hope and awareness by joining the two missions together to educate and connect people, one beat, connecting hearts one beat at a time. Together, as I mentioned, we had this wonderful prize pack for one person. This was all of the entry criteria. But Lawrence Hope has an opportunity to provide to the community a chance where you can call in and have a free shopper walk you through the program of what they have as far as offerings. And I don't want to give too much away because they did add something new to their product lineup, and I already bought it and I'm really excited about it. But they have dog tags. And I don't mean for your animal. I mean for, men or women to wear around their neck. Bracelets, all different types that I thought were watches that look like they could have been a top brand watch or at least a great accompaniment to a watch. They have double bracelet situations. So get this, you can get your ID tag with a chain and then get a matching separate bracelet. That's incredible if you're really into that kind of stuff. Waterproof, hypoallergenic, so many different offerings. But if you talk to them, they're going to help you kind of figure out what product would best suit your needs. And they've become extremely well versed in working with the first responders to determine what acronyms work best for our conditions. So don't struggle trying to figure out how do you reduce the word allergy or Coumadin, or what do you use in place of atherosclerotic arteries? They know how to reduce all these words. They know how to put in allergies, put in prescriptions that you're on, add your in case of emergency or otherwise known as ICE. They can help you really word your condition so that it is recognized by a first responder. So that's why we kind of did this teaser for Heart Month and in preparation of our interview of Tara Cohn, the Executive Vice President, because in March, we will be doing a similar contest, but we're going to utilize YouTube. Since that's where the interviews are taking place on our AHTV YouTube channel, we're going to be asking you to do a lot of likes and comments on the post of the live event, both on our page as well as on a shared promo that's going to take place on Lawrence Hope. So that was Medical Monday in a sense. And if you missed out, I'm so sorry, but you have another opportunity coming up this month in March. Not this month, this next month that's in like 3 days. Why do I already think it's March? It's most certainly not March. You know what it is? It's that extra day that's coming in February that's got me all confused. But stay tuned. Another great contest coming everybody's ways with Lawrence Hope.
You know what I like about them is...
What do you like?
When she was with us last time, she said, it's not a good... When is a good time to have this discussion about wearing an emergency bracelet or any emergency anything? Definitely not during the emergency, you know?
Right.
So I think it's important. And I've noticed everybody that gets into the support groups, they're all sporting something, almost all of them.
Which is awesome. Hey, look, at the end of the day, something is much better than nothing. But when you go to our Hope Shop page on our website and you go towards the bottom, lower, you will see that there is a post about our collaboration with Lawrence Hope, and in there is a link that'll pull up their website, and that is our special link that enables us to receive a small amount from the proceeds of the sale. Costs you nothing more. You're still going to have a discount because they're always running contests. Always, always, always. It does not impact the sale at all. If for some reason you really want to buy something and there isn't a coupon code, give them a call. Mention it. I guarantee you they'll come up with something for you because that's just how they operate. They don't want a barrier really between a purchase. So if a coupon's going to help, they're going to talk with you in customer service. So it goes the same way with our health belts, our seatbelt covers. That's another important item that you're going to be hearing a lot about very soon. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, all great forms of communicating our issues and illnesses with first responders. It's all about saving time. It's all about saving time. So that's our Monday. Okay, I'm going on to Tuesday. You let me know when I got shout outs, right?
I will. It's quiet chat today.
Quiet chat today. It's because it's so beautiful outside and it's warm. I might actually be ready to get rid of my my sweaters. Hence, mermaid hair. I don't care. I went with the 1980s crimper. Yeah, different look. All right, topic Tuesday. Nobody cares about the hair. Telling you, nobody's that interested in what I do every minute of my life. All right, topic Tuesday. Not too sure which one of our medical contributors contributed to this post, but we'll find out towards the end. But hoping that your week was off to a great start. And on this particular day, we were going to talk about the Bentel procedure. There's a Ross procedure, a Bentel procedure. There's so many different procedures for what those of us with aortic disease might have when it comes to a surgical intervention. And the Bentel procedure is actually a surgery that is used to treat any type of aortic root abnormality that involves the ascending aorta and the aortic valve. So remember, your aortic valve, not part of the aorta. Let's get that distinction. Aortic valve is part of the heart. So is the mitral valve, the tricuspid valve, the pulmonary valve. They're all valves to the heart. This one just happens to exit into the beginning of the aorta. So sometimes we get that confused and we incorporate, just generally speaking, an aortic valve as part of aortic disease, but it is not, unless it's under certain circumstances. And we'll talk about that another time. But this technique, the Bentall technique, was actually created to treat patients with aortic root aneurysms and then modified in several aspects to treat other issues of the aorta. So the Bentall procedure generally involves the insertion of a mechanical valve to replace the aortic valve. Okay, and this would require you to be on lifelong anticoagulation like Coumadin, like warfarin, not like Plavix, different type of drug, not Eliquis, different type of drug. Typically, it's going to be warfarin and I believe Coumadin. But the Bentall procedure also fixes the aortic root. So this is the type of surgical procedure, again, that would implant a mechanical valve to replace the aortic valve that might have aortic regurgitation, might have bicuspid, but it is going to require lifelong anticoagulation because it is mechanical. But the main benefit of the Bentall procedure is that it can take care of an aneurysm and malfunctioning valve all at once. And as I'm reading this to you, I'm thinking about myself, and that's probably going to be the procedure I will be having at some point in time. So I'm learning. This is great. This surgery actually provides a long-term solution. So below, which I'm going to show you, is a representative picture of what the Bentall procedure looks like. So if you take a look here, you have your heart and you have, this is the aorta right here, okay? This is where your aortic valve would be. This is leading into the coronary artery, but this is the part of the aorta that's getting replaced. This is it. This is it right here. This is the artificial mechanical valve. You would think it would look like a valve that has 3 cusps or leaflets, and it doesn't. Actually, Dr. Ben Udelman, when we had him on our show last week in a live, showed us what the mechanical valve looked like, and it kind of just looks like it's got vents that flap in and out like you would find in your home, which you can open and close to let your heat or your AC in. That's what it looks like. It almost looks like it's just 2 flaps. So very interesting how it goes from 3 to 2. But this is the area in which it is, and it just is an all-in-one, basically. It kind of looks like a graft, right, with a valve, but it's all one piece. So the Bentall procedure may be needed for patients that have aortic regurgitation, which I had mentioned, and that's when the valve doesn't close properly and causes a backflow or regurgitation of blood each time the heart pumps. Aortic stenosis, which is when your aortic valve becomes stiff and doesn't open properly. You could also need this procedure if you have Marfan syndrome, which is a disease from birth that weakens the thickness of the aorta's wall. Doesn't mean it shows up at birth, can show up at any time after birth. Or you could have an aortic aneurysm, which is just the widening of the aorta, causes you to need to have your valve repaired or replaced. Or if you have an aortic dissection, which is when, again, the inner layer of the aorta splits apart from the other layers. As with any surgery, there are going to be risks associated with the Bentall procedure, and the common risks would include bleeding, ending up with some type of arrhythmia or abnormal heart rhythm, short-term memory problems, and I'm going to assume that that's just from being on a bypass machine, just like any of us who have had a dissection. I think we can all agree that we have had a degree of short-term memory, but it can also cause blurred vision, some difficulty concentrating, possible risk of infection, heart attack, stroke, blood clotting, and even death. This is just the reality. I'm sure that if you're having, tonsils taken out, knee surgery, there's still risks of some of these things happening as well. You could be at risk for blood clots, stroke, heart attack, death as well. So A lot of these risks they just have to be explained to us, okay? Doesn't mean that there's a high propensity for these things to happen. But if you're at risk of having an aortic root abnormality with the aortic valve or ascending aorta, you do want to talk to your doctor about this, because dental procedure might be the type of procedure that you have. And now I have found out that this is all we have for today's session, which was last Tuesday. And this was written from Duke, who is, last thing I checked, interviewing for his residency. I'll have to find out if he has actually landed someplace. But that was your topic Tuesday.
That was
It's all
excellent.
interesting.
They do such good work.
Interesting. I love when they write, both Adam and Duke. It's just so easy for me to understand what they're saying. I might not be happy with it, but at least I understand it. All right, we're moving on. It was Heart Valve Awareness Day, Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day, which was on the 22nd. And it's kind of recognized always in February because it's part of the American Heart Month, basically. February is Heart Month, Heart Awareness Month. And February 22nd was designated for Heart Valve Disease Month. Not necessarily just aortic valve disease issues, it's any valve, okay? But obviously, we're not here to talk about mitral valve. We're here to talk about anything that would happen with your aortic valve. But the goal of this day is to kind of aim to raise awareness, to just basically talk about heart valve disease, specifically aortic. And this annual day focuses on educating people about risk factors, about symptoms, about how to detect if you have an issue with a heart valve, and to kind of, I guess, help reduce the burden of any type of heart valve disease. But more than 11 million Americans actually have heart valve disease, yet 3 out of 4 Americans, they just know little to nothing about it. And that's because it's typically not symptomatic until there's an actual issue. And this goes for all of your valves, okay? But we're going to specifically focus on the aortic valve. And aortic valve disease would be a group of conditions that would affect your aortic valve, which is responsible for managing the blood flow out of your heart through the aorta and to the rest of your body. And there's 2 main types of aortic valve disease. And that would be, as we mentioned before, aortic valve stenosis or aortic stenosis, which is how it's typically described by physicians. They just dropped the word valve altogether. As Dr. Udelman said, it just became too wordy, so they just call it aortic stenosis. But in this condition, the aortic valve actually becomes narrowed, which prevents it from opening fully. So as a result, you're getting a less amount of blood flow through that valve and into the aorta. So part of your symptoms could include feeling chest pain, which is called angina, or feeling tightness. You could feel faint. You could feel lightheaded with exertion. You could feel a shortness of breath, especially during physical activity. And you could feel fatigued, especially during times of increased activity during your day. That would be stenosis. Now, another type of aortic valve disease process would be called aortic valve regurgitation, and that would be called aortic insufficiency. And so in this particular case, it's almost the opposite. The aortic valve just doesn't close tight enough. It becomes like almost floppy, right? And so when it doesn't close tight enough, now you have blood leaking backwards into the heart or regurgitating into the heart. And so the symptoms of that, which some are similar to stenosis, could be shortness of breath during times of exercise or when lying down. You could feel tired or have some weakness, especially during increased activity. You might start to develop an irregular heartbeat. You could feel some lightheadedness or fainting, and maybe even a chest pain or discomfort that worsens during exercise. Now, you're not going to feel these things when it's a mild or trace amount of regurgitation or stenosis. More of your symptoms are going to appear the further along the disease progresses. And a lot of these symptoms really occur, or they are found rather, during your echocardiograms, okay? And risk factors for these conditions, for these aortic valve diseases, include typically being over the age of 60. Okay, I'm not. I'm not over the age of 60. So that's just a typical. That is not in everyone. And I know a lot of people who have issues with that valve as well as other valves that are under the age of 60. So these are just a guideline, just a guideline. Okay. If you have bicuspid valve, for sure. Now, bicuspid valve is not a disease, it is a congenital heart defect. It is something you are born with. It is not something that it turns into in your late 40s. You are born with two cusps instead of three. But you can also be born with one cusp. You could be born with four cusps, and rarely you can be born with five cusps. Anything outside of the normal three would cause a potential issue with blood flow back and forth in your heart and in your aorta. In this particular case, with the aortic valve being bicuspid, that could lead to aortic disease. You also could have an aortic disease situation because of another congenital heart disease or defect. Radiation therapy to the chest. Let's say you have breast cancer or any other cancer, lung cancer, cancer that's in the chest, Hodgkin lymphoma. Also, if you had rheumatic heart disease. So the risk increases with age as you get older, and early detection really allows for more timely treatment. So remember, if you're experiencing symptoms that are suggestive of aortic valve disease, as mentioned above, it is important for you to seek medical treatment. So don't hold those symptoms just inside, and don't dismiss them for, well, maybe I'm just, out of shape and I haven't done a lot of walking. No, you know what? If you're feeling some shortness of breath, if you're feeling a little bit of chest discomfort, and you've been noticing this happening, not just infrequently, but more frequently, it is time for you to say something to your physician, because regular checkups and awareness can help them catch any kind of problems early and ensure the appropriate management, whether it's medication or it's some other form of treatment. So if you have questions, you really need to discuss them with your physician. Do not assume you have an issue with your valve, but do not assume that you do not. So it is something for you to have a conversation with your doctor about. And that was our information for Heart Valve Awareness Day. There you go. Be aware of your valve. I think about mine every single day.
Seems like
There
a
you
good
go.
day.
Yeah, good day. All right, we're moving on to Feel Good Friday. Gotta feel good Friday. Gotta loosen up. Gotta love feeling good. And we are mentioning again, remember, I said we were going to talk about our seatbelt covers. Even though they're not just seatbelt covers, we're going to get into it a little bit here. So let's talk about these seatbelt covers. For Heart Health Month, the perfect way to feel secure, other than having a medical ID from Lauren's Help. But if you want to feel safe and secure when you're in a car, whether you're driving or you're a passenger, when you're taking a hike or walking your dog, maybe, or riding a bike, would be to consider grabbing a help belt, seatbelt cover, okay? Because these seatbelts can be used, they can be wrapped around the bar of a bike. They can be wrapped around the strap of a backpack, fanny pack, dog leash. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, we're asking you to put them on the seatbelts of your car, because we are going to be launching very soon the hashtag #AH Challenge. That is actually beginning on March 1st. We're going to continue to have some more details surrounding this challenge. It's really going to be quite simple and a lot of fun. You can order these belt covers right now, even today, on the 26th of February. You have until the end of February to order them, with a donation of $15 if you are part of the United States, or $20 if you are outside of the United States, okay? They are going to increase because the postage has increased. It's crazy. I don't know when anybody's been to the post office, but I go quite often, and I am blown away at the current prices, but they are getting ready to go up again. So we will be asking for a donation of at least 18 if you're part of the United States, and 23 if you're outside of the United States. Okay, that's going to start March 1st. But these seatbelt covers, they're so bright, they're so eye-catching. They come in red, yellow, or black. So pretty much you're going to go with just about everything, although not many people have yellow cars, but They're still very bright and eye-catching. They have that standard recognized medical alert symbol on them. They also mention aortic hope, but you get to choose many different sayings, only one saying per belt, to be placed on the belt. So the belts are 9x2. They Velcro easily in the back, and inside of the belt is a plastic holder where there is a card that you can fill out your personal information, what type of medical condition you have, your name would be helpful, your in case of emergency name and number, your physician information, medications that you're taking, any allergies you might have, hospitalizations, surgeries, it runs the gamut. They also include an extra card that you can make photocopies of, so that it fits perfectly when you fold it in and you put it in the holder. So everything can be wiped down with a soapy sponge in case you get any makeup or you get dirt or you get something on it. But they are offered in English. We can offer them in French and in Spanish upon request. Your choice is to put across the middle of the belt. And here again, the middle of the belt, right here. Your choices would be abdominal aortic aneurysm, thoracic aortic aneurysm, aortic dissection survivor, Marfan syndrome, Loeys-Dietz syndrome, vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. You can also have blood thinners, pacemaker, and regular medical alert. So medical alert goes for anybody, which is why I ask you guys to share these videos, because this will resonate with somebody else. Medical alert would cover any specific type of questions. So you can order these for your family and friends. So again, there is a link on the post to order. It's also located in Hope Shops at the top of our website. And we are going to be asking everyone on a post on our Facebook page, on our website, on our Instagram. You will see a sample video. It's me, but you will see a sample video where I'm going to ask you just to take a quick video of yourself pulling down your seatbelt that has the seatbelt covered. Give us a little tap, tap, like a heartbeat on your chest, showing that belt cover, and show me the heart symbol. If you post that on your page and you @ Aortic Hope, which pulls it into our mentions portion of our Facebook page, and hashtag #AH Challenge, you will be entered to win a prize pack from Aortic Hope. So all of that I just said is going to be on a post coming up this week, and then you will see the post pinned to our page. It's going to be there for 1 week. You will have from Friday to Friday to be able to enter this contest. And again, the key here is we want you to stick it, to click it, to share it. Hashtag #AH Challenge. The goal is make it viral so that first responders become aware of our personal needs. And it's a lot easier to identify that we might have a bigger problem going on than just a car accident if we end up one, or if we're just sitting there stuck in the middle of a parking lot, not really moving. We need people to know we have a condition. This is one of the ways to make it go viral. So we hope we can count on you for your help with that. That's our Feel Good Friday. I don't know about you. I'm feeling kind of good. I actually just ordered my new one.
I'm looking forward to this challenge so much.
I know you are.
I am. I have ideas.
Okay. Well, I'll do another video. I'll do my 3rd or 4th one. I like to just do it off the cuff, but it's a little challenging to position your phone on your dashboard and your windshield. So if you have a phone holder, do that. But just, turn it towards selfie, record it, you're good to go. It took no time at all. But the payback of everybody getting a chance to see it, it's going to be huge. So we really appreciate your help already before we've even gotten started. And that's our Feel Good Friday. All right. Moving on to Survivor Series Saturday. We love to hear from you. We love when you share your survivor stories. Why? Because it's therapeutic for you. It's validating for us. We love reading your stories because we can extrapolate bits and pieces and say to ourselves, oh my gosh, I did that. I felt that. I said that. My loved one felt that. And it's very validating, and it helps with our therapeutic journey and recovery of aortic disease as well. It can be scary, it can be emotional, but you have 3 ways to be the shining star in someone's life. You can submit it, as Doug Barker did, in written form. You can do a pre-recorded video, or you can go live as, Peter Magnuson did last week, went live, talked about his story, gave the community a chance to ask questions. That can be found in our videos too, here on our AHTV YouTube channel. But for right now, we have a written story that will be put to a voice. It will be able to be listened to from your car soon as an audible. But Doug really goes over a story that seems to be very familiar with many of us. You know, it's just one of those moments where you're just kind of living your life and boom, you get hit with this pain that's like, I think I'm having a heart attack or something's really going wrong. And the great thing about his story is that someone picked up on the cues. They picked up on it very quickly and knew they had to transport him to the surgery center of the hospital that was closest nearby that is used to performing these surgeries. So it ended up being Mass General that he went to. But, you know, after his surgery, um, there was a couple complications, you know, so not every surgical intervention for an aortic dissection, you know, just happens 5 hours later, you're in and you're out. Sometimes it can have a little bit of complications, which he talks about here. But most importantly, what I really took out of that is that he learned that 3 of his siblings also have enlarged aortas. They're now being monitored. So, you know, they told him that he believed his situation was because of high blood pressure. But I kind of wonder if 3 siblings have it, it's a little bit past coincidental that it's all just due to blood pressure. You know, I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's a little bit more to that. But coming up in May, it's going to be his 5-year aortiversary. Awesome shout out ahead of time to Doug on his upcoming surgery. And thank you so much, Doug, for sharing your detailed story and allowing others to learn from your experience and really cheer on your recovery. So that is our Survivor Series Saturday.
And that's definitely
Featuring
something
Doug.
we should cross post for the Think Aorta Think family.
It will end up there.
Right.
I'd love to see Doug get him and his brothers just, or his siblings, into a huddled, you know, picture, and let's get him as part of our patient success stories in Think Aorta's page. They would love to have that as a post. So we'll chat with Doug about that. Love it when people get their family members monitored. That's really very key, very important. All right. Share with you Sunday. You looking for a way to kind of get back to the community and kind of want your opinions heard? So Savvy Cooperative and Rare Patient Voice are 2 companies we've been kind of working with for quite a few years now. And, you know, organizations, companies, medical device companies, nursing, students, hospitals, they've got questions and they know that patients have the answers. And too often companies and innovators, they kind of waste our time and they waste money creating products and services that don't actually meaningfully impact our lives. Why? Because they never bothered to ask us. It could be everything from the packaging or the way a medication is administered. They just do it, you know? And if they ask us, the people who are going to use these products, what our thoughts were, it might help them not waste as much money and maybe be more successful in what they're trying to launch. So, Savvy really gives you an opportunity to input any medical condition that you have. And the more you input, just like in Rare Patient Voice, the more opportunities you will have to uh, receive what's called a gig. So Savvy offers gigs. And a gig is a way that you can answer preliminary questions, and it is a process. So you got to have some patience with Savvy. Answer some questions, and then they take those answers, they screen them to make sure you fit the first level. Then they move your answers, all anonymous, to the parent company, and that company will then decide who they're going to have be part of this marketing campaign. No, it's not a campaign. It's more of a marketing questionnaire interview process, and you are compensated for your time that you spend on this. Okay, so you can earn anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks on up to 150 or more. And when you decide to complete the gig using our link, then Aortic Hope is rewarded with some funds as well, as a thank you that we shared it with the community. Okay. The difference between Savvy and Rare Patient is Savvy is run by patients with medical conditions. That's who pretty much operates Savvy. Rare Patient Voice, it does something very similarly with a different payout for their events. for your participation. We receive a check for every new person that just signs up. We receive money from Savvy for every gig that's been completed. So two different situations. For me, for Aortic Hope, it's not about that. It's really giving you, the community, an opportunity to voice your opinion, make your opinion heard and known about potential products, potential care, not asking you to take medications, but just your thoughts about your medical condition and the way others view it, basically. And that's what we care about, is that you have an opportunity to have your opinions heard. So check them out. Again, this is listed underneath of our resources section. And sign up for both. It costs nothing and takes very little time to sign up for Savvy or for Rare Patient Voice. And that was our Sunday. All right. It's quiet out there. It's quiet in the
Very
community
quiet.
today.
Yeah, very quiet today. Somebody snuck in and gave us a like and left.
Boop, boop. Well, you know what? Just means I'm holding on to my my decal. That's fine. That's fine. We'll give one again next Monday. It's totally okay with me. Next Monday is what? First Monday of March. Oh, we're going to have to do something fun for St. Patty's Day. I'm going to think about something for the 18th.
That sounds fun.
I think we're going to make everybody wear green on the 18th. And but I won't know because I won't be able to see your pictures, but we'll figure something out. We'll do something good. All right, on our events page, which, yes, I got everything loaded. I am 99% sure the only thing that doesn't have a link is one event where I will be talking about Aortic Hope on the Global PAD, Peripheral Artery Disease Foundation's live radio show broadcasted from San Francisco. With Kim McNicholas, Emmy Award winner Kim McNicholas, who we had here live with us. I am now going there and be interviewed by her. Not nervous, not at all. Totally nervous. All right, but let's talk about what's coming up the rest of the week. So we do have the live Q&A moderated by Jack Crow and Carmen David. So they are both with Aortic Athletes and are Hope ambassadors here with Aortic Hope. They will be interviewing Dr. Diana Milowitz. You've probably heard her name. She is a geneticist with UT Houston and also provides work for the John Ritter Research Program. In addition, we have our last support group meeting, the evening one, last one of the month. It always happens the last Wednesday of the month. That's at 7 p.m. If you want to participate in a support group meeting, you fill out the form that's in this link once, and you'll be notified of every support group meeting, including our Hangouts, which we have one coming up on Thursday. It's every Thursday at 2 p.m. Hangouts are not serious. They are just that. It's like hanging out with a bunch of friends. Support group meetings, a little bit more serious. We've got some business to attend to in providing support and sharing our stories and some best practices of coping with aortic disease. We also round up the month with Aortic Hope's Qigong series with Kevin Songer. Now, this will still happen on Thursday, the 29th at 7 p.m. However, his series will be changing and shifting to Sundays at 11 a.m. beginning in March, Sundays at 11 a.m. Couple other things that we have going on is a mindfulness workshop coming up on Sunday, March 3rd at 4 p.m. with Tom Basserier. Tom is a community member who survived an aortic dissection but has been practicing and teaching mindfulness for so many years. This was very successful with us when we did it last year. This is a 90-minute workshop that you must sign up for. So you sign up using the registration link and you will receive an email just prior to the start of this session with a link to join. So, you might want to download Teams, Microsoft Teams, for the best viewing experience. But mindfulness is different than meditation. And I will tell you that personally, I was very surprised at my takeaways from this first 90 minutes and learning breathing techniques and scanning my body. And there's a lot more. I'm going to keep that rest to myself because it's very interesting. However, if you like this 90-minute workshop, we will be giving everybody an opportunity to sign up for an 8-week course. Again, this is all free. Of course, we would love donations because this really helps us continue to, provide these types of opportunities. But we are only accepting, 16 participants? I believe it's 16 participants. So the first 16 that sign up for the 8-week course will be allowed to attend, and then we're going to have to cut that off. But unlimited right now for this 90-minute workshop that you'll have an opportunity to participate in. Everything is listed here, including um, our Aortic Kitchen. And I can't remember what was told to me. There's some, I don't know if he did tell me what he was doing. I'm going to have put up soon. I just received what the nutrition and cooking demonstrations will be for the 2 classes that take place in the month of March. So we have that happening. Our bereavement support group, which happens every other month, that's taking place in March as well. As I mentioned, we're going live with Tara Cohen from Lawrence Hope. She's always a hoot. That's always fun. We'll be doing a giveaway, so you got to be part of the conversation in order to potentially win that giveaway. So there's a lot of things that are happening all throughout the month of March. We'll keep talking about them at every week in review. And that's it. That is it. That is the show. That's our show.
Excellent work. I have the topics here. Gut health on March 6th. Mindy will chat first, followed by a demo by Rob.
Okay.
And then on the 20th will be Mediterranean Kitchen. I don't know what that word is, or that other word, shaku, and tabbouleh. I don't know.
Tabbouleh. Yeah, I forget. That's kind of reminds me of like a quinoa and a little bit tabbouleh. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Gosh.
I think that's Greek. I could be wrong. It's all Greek to me. I don't know. And I don't know what Shabba sounds like a 50s song.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I have no clue.
I don't know. Hey, you got to be there to find out, but you will be there because you have to be there. The rest of us should be there. I love cooking demonstrations. And Rob has put up all of his recipes in the private forum. You can find everything he did from his shows and just other fun, wonderfully heart-healthy recipes for everybody. So should be checking that out. But yeah, we've got good stuff. Thank you for telling us that. I'm interested in the gut health. I think a lot of people are now starting to realize that there's a massive connection between our gut and our health in general. A lot stems from the gut. A lot. But you won't find me drinking or eating some kombucha. I mean, I do love sauerkraut, but I'm not doing any of that fermenting.
I love kimchi. I love it.
No. I don't know that I love it. I just think I don't.
Oh, all you can eat Korean barbecue is calling my name already.
Yeah, so we were out to dinner the other night, and my husband and like his brother, I say it in quotes because they're not really, they're both like pretty much only children. So it's kind of like my brother-in-law. For his birthday, they both got caviar. And I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal of that or oysters. No. I was asked many times to try it with a little onion, a little bit of egg, and a little bit of creme fraiche. And yeah, no.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I did take the tip of my tongue and touched one of those little teeny caviar things. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not going past that. I am done. Thank you. No, I just watched and probably had this face the whole time as I watched them scoop it out with the little baby spoon out of this tin that was ungodly priced. I don't get it. Never will. And don't need to. And kimchi falls into that category because I don't understand. So no.
Oh, it's just delicious. It's so tasty.
What is it?
Such an interesting flavor.
Well, what is it?
Well, I mean, it's fermented cabbage.
I was going to say that. I'm not interested in ferment, but then again, what's sauerkraut?
And then I guess they put in the spicy. I don't know what the spicy stuff is. But I'll eat it cold or right on the thing where they cook it in front of you.
But sauerkraut's cabbage, right?
Yeah, I don't eat sauerkraut.
So maybe I would like kimchi.
You might. I love the flavor. I mean, and it could be the spices, but I love that flavor.
So I do not like a coleslaw. I don't.
I won't eat it.
But I could eat. You could just place a bowl of sauerkraut.
So maybe I should try sauerkraut. Maybe I don't know how old I was the first time I tried sauerkraut.
Put it on a hot dog. Oh
I won't eat hot dogs at all.
Gotta have a good dog at the ballpark with some sauerkraut. It's the greatest. Speaking of ballpark, you guys that are in the Baltimore metropolitan area, you want to catch an O's game for $18 a ticket and sit close to the soaker section. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You need to come out to Aortic Hope's fundraiser. I'm thinking it's April 12th. Don't quote me on the date, but the information is on Facebook and we will get it out on our general page, on our Aortic Hope page as well. But they're $18 tickets, you guys. Like, you can't beat that right now. It's a super fundraising night. We're going to do it again in August. We have sold out of our tickets twice. We just had to buy 30 more tickets. We're just selling them left and right. It's going to be so much fun. And then we're going to offer a promo in the next week or two to get orange shirts with black baseball Aortic Hope logos on the front so we all look the same. All looking the same. So we'll have a promo for that and we'll knock off a couple dollars off of those shirts for all of you that are attending that game. We're going to have our name and lights on the big board. So that's going to be fun. It's very exciting. It's because the O's did so well. That's why.
That sounds fun.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. All right. I also want to say hats off to Rock from the Heart. First of two events just occurred this past weekend, last weekend in February, where they had their incredible symposium. Hope a lot of you got a chance to tune into that virtually. I believe you will be able to see it on YouTube. And they had their concert with the ever wonderful and charismatic Sebastian Bach. He's so into it. I love that he doesn't have aortic disease, but he's so rallying behind Amy and Pete and their organization with this. He's very attentive, very friendly, and communicates about it as often as he can and really gets the crowd involved on stage. I did catch some stills and some videos from that concert. And while I may not personally know a lot of his music, I love the sentiment behind it. So if you have not had an opportunity to attend and participate in one of their events, you got to do so because you got one coming up in May in North Dakota in Fargo. And that headliner is Rick Springfield. You know, I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Yeah, I love Rick, but I can't go. I'm on family vacation. So I have to miss it.
Your priorities are probably right where they belong.
They do belong there.
One of my biggest takeaways from the symposium,
yeah,
one of the doctors was on the guidelines writing team for aortic dissection and whatnot.
That's great.
And
yeah.
she said that one of the guidelines going that have been, I guess, approved is cardiac rehab for aortic dissection patients.
It's about time.
Right. And so, you know, my obviously that was, you know, huge news for our community, 100%. Mm-hmm. My question is obviously, how long does it take for that information to filter down to the insurance companies? So, you know, we have like a timestamp for when she told us about it, you know, in the community.
Yeah. Right? Those guidelines came out for 2022. It's 2024.
What was that?
The guidelines were revamped at the end of 2022.
Oh, okay.
And it's now 2024. So that's all of 23. Where did all that time go? And why hasn't it automatically just been approved by insurance companies? So your question is a very interesting and valid one, because I would like to know how long it takes before insurance companies catch up.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And remember when you were in Houston, and that lady said something about the aorta becoming like the 24th organ.
Yeah. Well,
that was also echoed at the
Rock from
the Heart Symposium.
Yep. Okay. So it's like the 24th or 25th organ in cardiovascular. I don't really know how it was, but we have like 70 some considered organs in our body. But yeah, in Europe, it is deemed its own organ, mainly due to it's got all these separate zones. So it is a separate organ. And because of that, and see, I feel like we were ahead of the curve without knowing we were ahead of the curve. We've always looked at the aorta and providing support as one unit from the root down until the abdominal area. So, because really anything can impact your aorta at any place. So you can have an abdominal aneurysm, as we know, more prevalent in men over the age of 60, smokers, high blood pressures, overweight. But many other people still develop an aneurysm, and that does not mean you won't develop one in the thoracic ascending or thoracic descending zones. So it's one organ. It's not like the tissue cell says, well, no, Charlie, I'm not going to cross this imaginary line and become thoracic. I'm in the abdominal. That's not how it works. So you can have them anywhere And there's always opportunity to find it someplace else. So I love that it's now its own organ, which now makes so much more sense, because it's not like you have a kidney and you have an issue with the kidney, and well, I'm only at, the kidney top, I'm at the top, this the southern part of the kidney. It would never ever have anything wrong because it's separate. It's one organ. It's an organ. It affects the organ. The whole organ now has a problem, right? It's like a compromised organ because it has something anywhere. So it's just a mindset. I'm so glad they announced that. That's great. It's awesome.
Oh, hey, Rob. Chef says,
Oh, Rob's
using
with
my
us.
other personality.
Oh, it's Rob. Rob should talk a little bit about kimchi, but now we're on
Yeah,
delay.
I love kimchi.
I love sauerkraut. So there we go. But I'm willing to try kimchi if you try sauerkraut.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. Maybe we do that. Maybe not this next coming week, but closer to like March 18th. Because don't people maybe, well, I would think maybe they eat sauerkraut around St. Patty's Day. I don't know. That's German, not Irish. I'm confused. But maybe try to find some sauerkraut by the 18th, and I'll try to find some kimchi. Just eat a little. We'll see how it goes.
Saying hi to
But yeah.
Christina, too. She just woke up from a big nap.
Oh, hi, Christina. I like big naps. I like
Yeah.
to have them at nighttime, but it doesn't always happen. And I don't always stay in my nap. But big naps are great. They're awesome. Well, sorry, you guys missed a fabulous show. Just saying. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can watch it on replay. Memorex, as we used to say back in the 80s, because that was a big terminology. It was
Right.
big. Yeah.
Rob says he'll be covering fermentation soon. That's exciting.
Okay. Well, Rob, things ferment in my stomach quite often. So, yeah, we can talk about that together, although I think
Oh,
we're
he's going to teach
discussing
us how
two
to
different
make
things.
moonshine.
Oh, okay. I like moonshine.
I bet you he makes great moonshine. I
Well,
wonder if he makes moonshine.
I have a feeling that anything Rob makes is probably great. And if he made kimchi, I probably would like it. That's what I'm
He has a
thinking.
great recipe for sauerkraut.
I love sauerkraut. Okay. I'll take that recipe, please. Hey, we're rocking around to the Passover season. I will love to have your recipes for that as well. I always bug Rob for recipes during the Jewish holiday seasons because I'm just have boring recipes in my closet. And him and Mindy have great things to share with me all the time. It's Hamantash
Oh, he
season
says he
soon.
needs a still.
No. Okay.
I think that's the big thing that does all the cooking, boiling, and processing.
I have no idea. You would know more.
I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, I definitely wouldn't. I actually had a drink of Moscato. I went out with a couple ladies last night. We were saying goodbye to Marianne, our treasurer, who completed her 3 years with us
Oh, lovely.
at the end of 23. And it was Nicole, our new treasurer, Tam Tam, and Terry and I. And 3 of the 5 partook in some extremely large pina coladas, quite a few bags of chips, and a gigantic bowl of queso before we had dinner. It was a very long night for me, not because of the pina colada, because of the massive amounts of food I ate. Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Yeah. So you
I love
keep
Greek.
telling us. Yeah.
I love Greek too. Yeah, I would love if maybe one time we could have Rob and Mindy just take us through like different, like, I don't know what the word is I want to say, but like maybe teach us Asian and then teach us Greek and then teach us Mexican. And you know where I'm going with
I hear
this?
where
Like,
you're going. International
right?
palettes. Yeah.
International palettes. Yes, international palettes. Something like that. Be so great. I think that I'm getting hungry. I haven't had lunch. So I got to go because this was a really great weekend
Rob
review.
says, did you pop an extra BP med when you ate all the chips?
I ate so many chips, Rob. It's so embarrassing. And then I had fajitas, but they weren't salty. They actually were really good. Yeah, I didn't even eat a tortilla. I was like, chips, tortilla, chips, tortilla. And I chose chips with the queso. Oh my God. So, but I didn't have anything all day. I had like a bagel for breakfast or something, a half a bagel. So I was raring to go, chugged a lot of water. I was ready for it. My body said, give me some salt. I was good. I slept really well. Didn't really get an increase in my blood pressure. It was time for nighttime meds anyway. So I was, I planned it
Oh.
all out.
So Rob's ahead of the game here. He says he's already working on that international situation. He's doing Mediterranean and North African in March.
North African? I can't even imagine.
I know, right? I don't know what any of that means.
No. What does that mean? Like I don't even want to tell you what I'm picturing because it's probably not even at all remotely accurate.
Don't think of Temple of Doom.
I'm just thinking about like scooping food up.
Okay. All right.
I'm thinking I don't want to eat like, a gamey, strange animal. Like I don't do venison. I don't do that kind of, I don't know. I can just say that I had such a good steak dinner the other night at the Prime Rib. So for people in the Baltimore area, the
remember
Prime
that word
Rib,
I didn't know? Remember that word?
What was it?
Shikush,
Yeah.
whatever.
Kush,
He put
couscous?
that back in chat. He says that's the North African dish. That's why neither one of us know what I'm talking about, right?
No idea.
He's just inventing words now.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Bless you. Bless you. One more time.
Only get a 2.
Only 2.
All right, guys. Listen, do me a favor. Christina, Rob, shoot an email message to info@Aortic Hope. Rob, I know you already got yourself a couple of these decals. I'm going to send you a little something. I'm going to send you something maybe you don't have that I think maybe you could need. Just thanks so much for tuning in. And Christina, I'm about to shoot you one of these decals. If you already have it, just mention in the email that you already have it, info@aortichope.org. That's our show for today. It's 3:56. I got to go. Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, click the bell again so you're notified every time we go live. Got to get used to it because other special things are going to start happening, like maybe Conversations with Karen, my own separate podcast. Might have something to do with this, might not have something to do with it. I don't know. All bets are off with it. I have no idea what's going to happen on that channel, but get used to clicking the subscribe button and the bell, okay? And click share. Somebody's going to get something out of this. Help others find us today. And thank you so much for joining. We will see you next Monday. Take care.